Were the ex-Hakuho allowed to publicly rebut the accusations against him, I would think he would do so like this. Sumo Chiefs, before dealing with the specific claims, can I express my surprise at the scale of the punishment? When my close colleague, Takasago, was found not to be living at his stable at the time his prize fighter incessantly broke COVID guidelines, you did not take the stable from him. When Coach Kisei, the only other master I believe to have signed a document promising not to cause scandals, was indeed hit by a gambling scandal involving 2 of his men 2 years ago, you did not take the stable from him. I believe he now jokes about that. When Coach Michinoku found his student was violently bullying another, you did not take the stable from him. And when Coach Isegahama found 2 of his students were engaged in bullying, you did not take the stable from him. So yes, I am now surprised to see Coach Tamagaki in my master's seat, and for a number of reasons. Firstly, you accuse me of not reporting an act of violence brought to my attention. Since when is that part of the Sumo Code? I'm not talking about recently written anti-violence rules, but the real Sumo Code. For when Michinoku reported on violence to you about this time last year, you still told him to sort it out in-house. Based on my 23 years in the sport, of course I assumed you'd tell me the same. Only when the Michinoku victim complained directly to compliance chiefs and leaked his story to a tabloid did you even think to investigate. I settled this Miyagi-no stable matter in-house no differently to how you do. So why am I being punished? Secondly, you accuse me of not cooperating with you, of instructing my men to underplay Hokuseiho's acts to ensure he wouldn't be fired. Well, which of the masters I mentioned above were not doing that at the start, before the pressure of the investigation became too much? Are you telling me you would not do the same if your top wrestler was accused of things you know other wrestlers are doing but somehow never get reported? Takatoriki even talks about this on YouTube now, of the time when he tried to protect his Russian guys from that infamous doping test. It's what every master naturally does. So why am I being punished? Thirdly, given the bouts themselves are so damn rough, can you define what is meant by violence against another sumo wrestler? Is what Hokuseiho did any worse than what was done to you at some point in your careers in a much less scrutinized age than now? As fighters bound by the samurai top knot, we've all been through horrible things which we can't yet share with the outside world. Those same awful things we might well have done when showing our juniors who was boss. Hand on heart, can you say that none of your stable's senior wrestlers are bullying juniors right now, while you are away on board business? If you can't, then why are you punishing me? It seems violence only goes on at stables in which you want it to go on. Fourthly, on the claim that I think I'm bigger than the sport, you are missing the nuance here. I'd rather say my reach is bigger than yours. If you guys turn up to a sumo event, depending on the locality, you might get more people come. But if I, ex-Hakuho, turn up to a sumo event, I can guarantee more people will come. I can also guarantee that thousands more foreign fans have heard of me than have heard of you. Now, why should I not be constantly using this power to reach out to others by putting myself out there more? Thanks to the stage that you gave me, lots of people now want my time. Yes, they take me outside the stable more, but they help me promote sumo as a whole. How can that be harming the sport? When I started the Hakuho Cup, which you now seem to scorn, I was using my name to try and get more kids engaged in sumo, because we all know professional numbers are dropping. Over time, yes, I built up relationships, and several of those talented kids ended up signing for me. But they could also have signed for any one of the coaches or wrestlers from other stables who always turned up to help. And the coaches who, rather unlike you, promptly recognized this as their chance to recruit, got to reap their own rewards. Roga went with Futagoyama, Hanafusa to Nishonoseki, as well as the Hayashi twins. Oshoma went with Naruto. Yoshi, via a roundabout route, ended up with Toyonoshima. And don't forget as well that I still employ Toyonoshima for the Hakuho Cup live feed. You simply turfed him out due to lack of space in your outdated and rigidly fixed 105 elder stock system. Hakuho Cup keeps men like him, and others you've simply kicked out, better involved in sumo. It treats these retired wrestlers better than you ever did. And when you decry my recruitment policy as being purely Hakuho first, well, how can you deny the wider benefits? Did the fans who witnessed Kiho do this leave the arena unhappy that day and less inclined to come back? Did Hakuho's amazing run in his first top division meet not boost TV interest? The papers still sing his praises today, literally today, despite what they think about me. And specifically with Hokuseiho, how have I done less for sumo with him than you have? The way I see it, I got sumo an extra giant through a chance meeting with him at a South Korean airport. All you have done is deprive sumo of his services by accusing him of things you can't even say your own wrestlers don't do. I view my sumo success in terms of how many prizes my wrestlers win up and down the country. You view your sumo success in terms of how much power you wield over rival coaches in your narrow office surroundings. And placed in that context, how can you claim that you are working for the wider sumo good, especially compared to me?